Guys, back with another day in paradise. So shout out to Afropean Monika. Kind of this is what prompted me to hop up on here and do this stream. Want to shout her out, and she actually messaged me. She wanted me to talk about this, or she wanted me to basically kind of challenge a commenter in her chat, so to speak. But for me, I'm not so much of the type of person where I go back and forth in the chat. For me, I look at the chat, I look at the commentary, and I think this is great material. I can, use my voice and provide some thoughts on that. Versus going kind of back and forth in the chat, to me, it seems like a waste of time, basically. To try to prove somebody wrong or prove their points inaccurate digitally, replying back and forth. To me, I just don't have the patience for that, really. There's some people where I might kind of entertain, but it's very rare. Most of the time, if I see a dissenting view or a comments that I feel like it's worthy enough, then I'll just make a video out of it. Why not? It's like free content. So that's what I'm basically doing now. So Afropean Monika, she uploaded a video, or not a clip, but a video of her DNA results. I shared it on my page as well, on my community wall. I can pull it up right now as well so you guys can see it, what I'm talking about. But I want to go over a couple comments based off of that. So let's check this out here. As you guys can see right here on my community wall, about 3 days ago, today's the new year, 2025. This is the first day, January 1st, 2025. And my Afropean Monika made a video. Says my mixed race identity, Afropean DNA results revealed. And great video. I shared it, right? Very nice. Check it out. And but she got a few comments in the video. And one of the comments that she got kind of startled her. So she prompted me, she messaged me, was like, hey, can you, reply to this person since you're an American mulatto? Can you provide some further commentary? Because we're going to see in the comments, this is a American Negro. We're going to dissect his commentary here. So let's get right into it. That's why the title of the stream is Pro-Black Gaslighting Tactics. Okay. We say Blackistan gaslighting tactics, pro-black gaslighting tactics, and also the mate guarding goes into that as well. Because as I always say to you guys, remember that the males, the Afrocentric pro-black American males will always try to target and go after the mixed race women to trick them and to try to give them an ultimatum to maneuver them to identify as black so they can use them and bastardize them. That the strategy they use towards the females, it doesn't work the same with the males. So, and they know it's an easier target to attack the women, to use their strategy, their gaslighting strategy to attack the women. This is why they do that. Like even like Phil Advice Show, all your favorite pro-wacks like Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority, Tariq Nasheed, they're all the same. They always, and Dr. Umar Johnson, can't forget him. They always try to basically target the mulatto female and try to get her to identify as black, right? Because with us, with the males, it's a lost cause. Like, I don't have to deal with you people. Like, you can, all the you're anti-black and you're a colorist and all this. Okay, well, go cry to white people. Like, they have no influence. When the males who are about their business, who are on top of shit, networking, like, we're gonna be good out here. We're gonna build something, and then women are gonna see, okay, these guys got something going on. They're gonna want to include themselves in it. So they're heavily invested, the Afrocentric pro-wax, the males, they're heavily invested in trying to gaslight and trick the women into a situation to where they will come back and be more black identified. I talked about this as well on this channel, this one, I believe. Yeah. Dr. Umar Johnson, who's very, notable for doing that a lot. You'll notice how his tone and his language and his strategy, how he talks to mixed race women, particularly. So this is what it is. So I saw this comment from this guy. She wanted me to reply to him in the comment section. Like I said, I wasn't really going to do that. I saw the comment, screenshotted it. I'll talk about it here on the live stream. You guys can listen to my voice, my commentary, impromptu, basically. I've already kind of read it, but I'm just speaking from the heart, so to speak. So let me read the comment from FBAK4700. He puts, "You make sure you stay in Europe with this topic and don't come to the US with it. We are in a major delineation movement here, and we are no longer interested in these kinds of conversations. Simply put, we don't do the mixed race stuff anymore. We only recognize the Black identity, or if you are not of our identity, it's not just a genetic identity, it's also an ethnic and socially connected identity. Many of what you call mixed race people identify as Black people here in the States, and it's been this way since this country's inception. But now there's a growing number of people like you who want to have their own classification, and that's cool. But since we are now in delineation mode, we can no longer accept people among us who may have dual allegiances." He's missing an I somewhere there. I'm looking at the spelling, the typo. Allegiances. It looks like it's allegiances. Yeah, he's missing an I somewhere there. Okay. I don't have the best punctuation. My spelling's not the best, but just looking at this, whatever. But this only applies to us proud Black Americans. And if you don't care to connect with us, then that's fine as well. To me, when I read that, it sounds like an ultimatum right off the bat. It's like you have to identify with us as Black. If you don't, well, you're on the other side. Like typically what they say is you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side. Even Umar said that, Umar Johnson. You'll find that with Pro-Wax. You got to pick a side. I'm like, well, you've already positioned yourself as my enemy. I'm not going to join your little losing team, your losing club. I don't have kids by you people, so I'm not in that situation. I'm not indebted to you. I don't have there's no stake in the game for me. I could care less. I laugh, but this guy saying here, many mixed people, he said, we only recognize the Black identity, which is Black is just a color. It doesn't mean anything. Or if you're not of our identity, it's not just genetic identity, it's also ethnic and socially connected identity. Yeah, socially means the struggle with the Kendrick Lamar crowd, the pro-wax who love Kendrick. We're talking about socially, talk about being a proud victim, being a proud victim. Let me kind of blow this up because I think looking at the text is a little small. He talks about socially. What the hell is he talking about socially? Most of these people are buck dancing coons for their Anglo masses. Tariq Nasheed, he has the Mink Slide album. He has a white guy, it's all a farce when you deal with these people. Okay. Even Dr. Umar Johnson got his degrees from his white massa. It's all of them. It's all of them. You don't even have to get me started. I already know. And so this whole socially thing, it's this binary kind of paradigm that they fall into where they're the quote unquote oppressed. And that's the colonizer. And you got to be down with us at the bottom. And nobody wants to be down there. It's misery loves company. It seems very miserable. And there's not a lot of wins. It doesn't seem very appealing to someone like me. Maybe to the females, he can trick them and fool them. I mean, that's kind of what he's doing now. He's trying to plead his case to her, give her an ultimatum. Like, you just got to identify with us as Black. If you don't identify with us as Black, well, then we don't care. Many of, and I'm going to repeat what I read. This is many of what you call mixed race people identify as Black people here in the States. And he says, and it's been this way since this country's inception, which is not true. It's not accurate. This is not a historian you're talking to, this FBAK guy, whatever. You look at his channel, he has no content there. We'll get into that later. This individual, he's talking about that many, a lot of them identified as Black. Okay. Okay, that's accurate. Okay, the sentence, he says many of them is identifies black. True. Frederick Douglass, and you look at it. I read his autobiography on my other channel, Mulatto History channel, and you listen to me, and when I'm reading the book, it's like, damn, you listen to the stories of Frederick Douglass where he was getting beaten. He had a scenario where he's working in like some warehouse or some farm somewhere, and he almost got his eyelid, like, eye punched out of him, got beat up by whites. He witnessed somebody else getting deleted. So like he saw a lot of traumatic stuff that was life changing. So different times, right? Was it 1830s, something like that? So there was a time like that where, yeah, you had mulattoes and mixed people who saw a lot of carnage that was heavily like, black life was basically, disposable in certain areas, right? And so you had mixed people like Frederick Douglass who saw that and who sympathized with the black plight because he's like, Jesus Christ, this is pretty hardcore. So, but for this guy to make the claim, he says many, which is accurate. Okay, many for sure, but not all. Not all have identified as black, and we see that today. So historically, we see that in the past, we see that today. There's always people like us who basically we don't identify with you guys. And they have an issue with that. Instead of him building his own community with his little FBA kind of stuff, he's on a mixed race woman's channel to try to gaslight her, to try to trick her, give her an ultimatum to identify as black. This is what they do because they're powerless. This is what it is. They're powerless. This is why you're on a female's channel trying to trick her to identify with you. And she's not even in the same country as you. This is why she prompted me and reached out to me because she's like, well, you're an American. Can you, put a comment and, reply to this guy? I was like, let me take a look. Okay. And yeah. So talking about this delineation mode. All that is when you talk we hear these type of FBA characters talk about delineation, it's because they hate themselves. The former slaves, when he uses FBA, K, his title, the former slaves, they hate themselves. Their self-hate is so severe, it's disgusting and despicable. So that delineation mode, all he's talking about is delineating himself from native continental Africans. He's not talking about delineating himself from mixed race people. You see how he's in her video, in her comment section, trying to trick this beautiful mulatto, elegant mulatto woman, Afropean Monika, trying to trick her into identifying with Black Americans. He's not going around to like African channels trying to get them, the Africans, to identify with him. That's what that whole delineation is. They don't want to delineate between the FBA, dark skin, black Americans and the mixed race mulattoes. They don't want to delineate. They want to blurry the lines and confuse everybody because they want us to be a part of their group. See, all that delineation crap is with that FBA is that they hate themselves. They hate the fact that they are from Africa. They're trying to lie now and pretend that there was no slave ships. They're native indigenous people in America. Like, they're trying to lie and pretend like they're the real Indians. That's how bad it is. The self-hate is so bad. They're trying to pretend, these FBA characters are trying to pretend like they're the real Indians and that there was no slave ships and that they've been here all along. And that's how crazy it is. So when I see this, when I'm analyzing the syntax, his grammar, his structure here, he's talking about delineation mode. All that is that delineation. I'm going to repeat it again, okay, like a broken clock. He's talking about saying that Black Americans are different than continental Africans. And see, that's not going to work with a woman like Afropean Monika, who just got her Nigerian passport. Shout out to her. Okay. And she's proud of her Nigerian heritage or African heritage. I mean, she is a great representative model for mulatto people. This is why I proudly support her. I proudly support Afropean Monika. She makes us look good. I've said this over a year ago, and I'm going to continue to say it. She makes us look good. She's way better than me. Okay, I'm not the nicest guy. I'm not the best. Everyone talks crap about me, which is good. People lower than me talk crap about me. That's the beautiful part. But I never come up here and claim that I'm like the nicest or best guy. No. When I see women like Afropean Monika, they are a great model representative for us. So thus why I promote her. But she's proud of her African heritage, Nigerian. She got a passport. Okay. And she's proud of her European heritage as well, Polish. And but then you have this guy here, this FBA, this Black American guy. When he talks about delineation, he's saying the Africans are different. They're not Black American. That's why he started out the sentence, his paragraph saying, "You make sure you stay in Europe with this topic and don't come to US with it." You hear that? Like an ultimatum. He's trying to give her an ultimatum. Very bizarre thinking, but I know it. I know it. That's why I want to talk about it on this live, do kind of an impromptu live instead of because Monica messaged me and wanted to kind of go into her on her channel into the comments and replies. Like, I'm not, no, I'll just jump up here and do a little video live stream. It's all good because I already know what I'm dealing with. I saw the guy's username FBAK. It's too easy. When you deal with these FBAs, they hate themselves. They look at mulattoes and mixed people in America as their subjects, as their subordinates. They look at and see she's in Europe, Afropean Monika, so she doesn't understand really the nuances here. But these FBAs, these Tariq people, Hebrew Israelite, all these FBA characters, they look at the mulattoes as their subordinates. And they want to trick them to identify with them so they can punk them. And because you're a female, specifically, this is why you're going to see a male try to go after you and try to trick you and attack you, versus you won't really see Black American females try to convince you that you're a Black American woman like them. See, Black women are not going to do that. It's only going to be the Black American males that are these Afrocentric, pro-whack kind of FBA types who are going to try to trick you into thinking you're one of them, right? This is what it is. Yeah. But this whole thing he talks about, we can no longer accept people among us who have dual allegiances. I accept that. He didn't even spell allegiances correct. He's missing an I somewhere there. But I acknowledge that. I think that's a good thing. That's having integrity. That's a good start for their little group. Talking about dual allegiances, that's a problem. So I agree. You want people who are on code with you and your message. I give you that. But you're putting this comment, okay, in this woman's page, and you don't even understand the background. This woman is not a part of you people. She has a Nigerian parent and a Polish parent. She's not the same as you people. And they're trying to make this, like I said, the delineation mode, delineation to these people. I'm going to repeat it again for the fourth time. It's because the Black Americans who hate themselves, who are revisionist history. I'm not saying all. I'm saying the ones who use the FBA title, as this character does, FBA. If they use FBA, they hate their Africanness. Okay. So they want to say they're indigenous. They're not the same as the continental Africans. So that's what it is. They want to delineate themselves from continental Africans. And you're talking to the wrong person because Afropean Monika, she's been to Ghana plenty of times. Like I said, she just got her Nigerian passport, so she's going to go to Nigeria soon. And it's like she's trying to connect with those people. She looks at them as her people, as part of her blood, her heritage. Like I said, she's a very good role model for us because she's proud of her African heritage, proud of her European heritage. She's very balanced. She is a great role model, probably one of the best ones I've seen on social media to represent mulattoes. This is why, for me, I'm a big fan of her. I support her, I promote her, and you know, want to move forward with that because she is a great representative for us, you know. And yeah, so let me read her comment. Afropean Monica put, "I'm connecting with many proud mixed race Americans who have different perspectives from yours. I invite you to watch my conversation with Mulatto Vanguard on this channel. Yours is one of many points of views, and not everyone in America shares it. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, though. All the best." That was it. And then someone else applied, King Lions put, "Dude, you tripping. Us Black Americans delineating have nothing to do with this woman in her video. You sound foolish, plus you're just trying to be messy." Exactly, yeah. Yeah, the fact that Black Americans are delineating themselves has nothing to do with the video. This is a video of a proud mulatto woman who's talking about her DNA results, her ancestry. That's it. That's it. And I'll link the video in this chat or the description as well for Afropean Monica. Shout out to her for that. And then you look at the guy's comment, right? FBAK. You guys can see this on the screen. I already read his comment. And Afropean Monika told me he put another comment on her in that comment section, but he deleted it. He thus deleted it. So because she really wanted me to kind of go in the comments and stuff like that. I was like, nah, I don't do the whole back and forth, like especially on TikTok, where I get my comments reported. you know, I'm too mean. I'm too mean. They report my comments. It's against the community guidelines, whatever. That's why I'm like, man, I just rather make content and move forward. And but yeah, I guess the guy deleted his own comment, but I saw this. Look at his page FBAK. And it's such a dead giveaway. That whole FBA crap. It's the same stuff. But look at his, I clicked on his like, icon, his avatar. Look at who he subscribed to. Look at his subscriptions. This is the Radical Black Identity Extremist Starter Kit. Look at who he subscribed to. The African Dysphoria Network. That's a Black American male married to a Mexican. Okay. The biggest one dropper on the planet. A proud slave, proud victim. That's Phil Advice Show. He subscribed to that guy. Moving on next. The Black Authority. He subscribed to Black Authority, who's another radical Black identity extremist, anti-mulatto. Okay. He's another one of these guys. He's part of the whole FBA grift. He's a YouTuber, YouTube social media grifter, grifting the pro-wax who have low self-esteem. Moving on to the next one. Tariq Fraud Sheed, who is the leader, the kingpin of that whole quote unquote delineation movement, grifting off the insecurities of a lot of these former slaves, giving them some hope with the Hidden History Museum, all the pro-whack crap. And this guy, Tariq Fraud Sheed's married to a mulatta, not a black woman. Tariq Fraud Sheed is the same type of grifter as like a Donald Trump. Donald Trump is American first. He's so proud to be American, yet he's married to a fucking Slovenian, a European woman. He's not married to an American woman. But you have a lot of dumbass American women who love Donald Trump and they support him and vote for him. And they're so stupid. They don't get it. Like they support a guy who's like not even committed to them. Right. It's the same thing with Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed, you have a lot of dumbass Black Americans who love Tariq Fraud Sheed. He gives them hope. He's fighting the power. But yet he's not even married to a dark-skinned Black American FBA female. He's married to a mulatto woman. And I believe his partner, his mulatto woman, his partner, like, she's mulatto, but like her father is like non-FBA or she's mixed, whatever the hell she is. Like, she's not an FBA. She, I think her name's Peanut, whatever, and that's her nickname. And like her mom is Jewish, and then her dad is Haitian or American or something like that. Don't quote me. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, but I'm just showing you the fugaziness and the fraud nature of these pro-wax and how do as I say, not as I do type of mentality with all these pro-wax, right? They all want their light skinned white women and mixed women and their preference, but they want to preach this pro-wax shit. Right off the bat, this is a major L. Phil Advice Show, African Dysphoria Network, married to a Mexican. The Black Authority, I think he was married to a white woman and then he got divorced and now he's like a faceless avatar guy, a little YouTube weirdo. And then you got Tariq Fraud Sheed, married to a whole fucking biracial woman, not even a Black FBA. Right off the bat, that's a major L, bro. And you got Professor Black Truth right here, the B1. There's like a radical Black identity extremist. So yeah, and then he's on, like I said, the comment you see here, he's putting this comment under a mixed race woman, a mulatto woman's video, and this is a mulatto woman in the UK, in Europe, okay, European raised woman. It's like, and you're a Black American, you're an FBA. You're the one who's out of touch with reality. He's telling her, his first sentence is, you make sure you stay in Europe with this topic and don't come to USA with it. She can go wherever the hell she wants with it. She has allies now. She's had allies. I've been an ally of hers since I found her. She has American mulatto allies. So no, we talk to FBAK. We say, stay your ass in your little ghetto, your little hood with the pro-wax shit. Because over what I'm doing, what other people are doing, we don't identify with you people. Now, there's a lot of mulattoes who are punks. I get it. They feel sorry for you. They're gonna identify with you. They're gonna have your kids. I get it. Like, but with me in particular, we're not doing that over here. Okay. So gotta just let that be known right there. So that was it for that commentary. I can get into some other stuff here, but let's check this out right here. Someone dropped this comment on one of my recent uploads earlier. Let me kind of blow it up so you guys can get a good visual of it. You got right here. She puts, I remember how they bullied Lotto, Miss Mulatto, right? Into changing her rapper name, which didn't make sense because Lotto is mixed. And I think I kind of cut it off here. Let's see. Yeah. She should be able to say it. She's mulatto. She should be able to say mulatto, but she's catering to blacks, right? Because you have to understand, with these mulattoes who are black identified, for them, they're in an interesting position because they always have to acquiesce to black sensibilities. So therefore, the blacks will make the rules and they'll dictate the speech and the tone. They'll tone police them and dictate the speech. So it's like they can't say whatever the hell they want. They're always going to be under the supervision of blacks. That's the sad part about these black identified biracials. Okay. Now with the Miss Mulatto, now that's her market. She's making money off of them. That's who's buying her crap. It's particularly the dark skinned black males. Okay, that's because that's their preference. The ghetto mulatta who acts like a hood booger, right? With the BBL and all that. It's more common now today, anyways. Like it's not special. And so that's her market. So yeah, she's gonna basically placate to them and give in and she'll change her name. She's still getting money, getting paid, doing like features with Mariah Carey and all this crap. So she's still, you know, she's getting her money, getting her bag. So that's kind of the game she's playing. But there's no integrity there. That's the thing. There's no integrity when you involve yourself in that situation where you're kind of being forced to rebrand and change your name. Like what the hell? That's all on her. I put here exactly 100. It's because they want to police the identity of mixed people. Remember that they're former slaves, that they are, excuse me, former slaves who had their identity stripped from them and they feel powerless. So they want to identity police mixed people in order to make themselves feel powerful. So it's a power relationship, this dichotomy you deal with because they feel powerless. They know they're conquered by the Anglos. They know when the Anglos bring in with the H-1B visas with all these East Indians, and the East Indians are already acquainted with the caste system, where the darker skinned ones are at the bottom, the lighter skinned ones are at the top. So they fit into the mold and they acquiesce to Anglos very quickly. So when the Indians come over here, even in the UK, same shit. The Bantus and Nigerians or Jamaicans in the UK, like the Indians come in and Pakistanis, they are already are like above and on top of the Africans and shit, right? With business, acquisition and ownership, etc., real estate. Same thing in the United States, same thing Canada, wherever, regardless, in South Africa as well. So yeah, they feel powerless when they know, like with the Anglos, how the Anglo side, even in the United States, I'll speak again, where it's like where the Latinos, the south of the border, they bring in the Hispanics, Mexicans, they allow them to assimilate into the white body politic. And so they give them preferential treatment. And the Bantus feel a certain way about that, you know. And so they feel powerless, especially the FBA crowd, not the immigrant, not if they're Nigerian or Jamaican immigrant in the United States. I'm talking about mainly the former slave crowd, the FBA crowd. They feel powerless, so they need a population that they can kind of punk and coerce and gaslight to make them they give them an ego boost, make them feel powerful. So they look at the mulattoes as being a good subject. This is what it is. So this is why they're consistently infringing upon your space, trying to trick you. And like I said, with the males, particularly like that FBA guy, they're going to go after the women. Same thing with like Dr. Umar. He's going to always try to convince mixed women to identify as black. Phil Visho, he's trying to convince Tyla to identify as black or other Dominican women because a lot of these pro-wax, the black American males that are pro-wax, they try to convince the Dominican women to identify as black, right? Oh, you a self-hater, you a tragic mulatto. Because I've seen these pro-wax try to call like Halle Berry a tragic mulatta. and she's a multimillionaire, and these are like dusty ass, broke ass Black Americans calling her tragic. But see, what it is because they want to shame the women to identify with them so they can bastardize them and basically absorb them. It's a way to conquer them, essentially, because they're powerless. They know they have no power. All these other groups, none of them take them seriously. Okay. They're entertainment class. So they need a population to punk and to put position as subordinates to make themselves feel powerful. And they look at mulattoes as being that position. But what they're crafty at doing is they're crafty at mitting their whole gender war dynamic into our sphere, our political sphere, our social sphere of influence. The same type of gender war dynamic they have in their community. They want to position that over here. That's why you see the males try to target the women, try to get the women to go against the mulatto men, the biracial men. Oh, light skinned guys are soft, they're weak, and all this crap, right? I don't really see that many females. I've noticed that from the beginning. Sometimes the women will come into my comment section, but most of the time when I analyze the other females, and it's like, yeah, they mostly have males trying to convince them, oh, you're a Black woman. But yet all the Black women are telling them you're not a Black woman, you're mixed. you know, we're gonna get into that right now as well. I got another clip. I want to piggyback off what I talked about last time with the on TikTok that kind of got a lot of steam. So just bear with me here. I'm going to pull that clip up. If you guys want to call in, I'm going to drop the link right now as well. But I got a couple clips I want to share with you to piggyback off of that. Just the strategy, how we see the males, how they want to target the women, right? Because they think it's an easier target. But when it comes down time to talking to the males, they know they're not going to get anywhere. We're going to sit there and laugh at them. If they're not paying us or dancing for us, I don't have any business with them. There's nothing to talk about. Might as well go back over there, talk to them right here. So open floor, guys. You guys want to call up? The link is dropped. Go ahead and call up. Got you hate watchers all up in the mix per usual. Motherfucking hate watchers and shit. As long as you watch, hit the like button. You're doing me a favor. You guys watch me, but I don't watch you. That's how I know I'm winning. That's how I know I'm winning. I got these hoes, literally hoes, watching me. And I'm not watching you, ho. So let's get into this. We got I saw this dude, like I said, he jumped on the chat, or not the chat, the show with the mixed women talking about Black issues as an issue. Like, now that we have mulatto voices, independent media, mulatto voices, it's on us to kind of call this out, to correct people when we see this stuff in the public sphere. Thing is, their stuff is going to get promoted quick in the algorithm. They get a lot of traction, basically based off the controversy, where you have Black women, like these biracial women are trying to act like they're Black, talking about Black hair, blah blah blah. So that controversy kind of helped them, because now I found their channel, and their channel is being promoted. People are sharing, people are talking about it. Hence, here we are. So, but they're Black identified. They're trying to speak as if they're Black. We look at them, they got a white mom or whatever, they're mulatto. We got to stop and correct them. We got to correct them. Okay. Moving forward. So I want to check this clip out here. This guy, I got another clip of this guy I wanted to share, because this is, like I said, what the males, the North American Bantu pro-whack male, what he'll do is he'll gaslight the mulatto women. He'll tell the mulatto women, oh, you're Black. Oh, the world is going to see you as Black. Society is going to see you as Black. But they will not extend the same type of, privilege, I can say, or decency to the males. They're forever gonna gatekeep Blackness when it comes to, like, the males, like what they're doing with Drake. The Drake situation is a blessing, especially for me, like, just with the social media stuff. Like, I grew my channel, the subscriber count, did some videos here and there. I didn't want to continue talking about the Drake stuff, but to me, I had to ride that wave because it was very good, because it's like people were going to watch in, tune in. I knew it. I knew I was going to do good numbers with just that Drake stuff, but it's so obvious. Like, it's a blessing for us, because The cat's out the bag. Okay. The racist dark-skinned Bantu male has showed his venom and anger and jealousy towards the light-skinned mulatto man. It's unavoidable now. The discussion is unavoidable. They can lie and pretend all they want, but we're here talking about it. So, like I said, the strategy, we look at a guy like this, he's going to convince these mixed women on this podcast that they're just black women. But we saw, I did the last stream, whereas all these black women were basically like, well, no, you're mixed. You're not black. Don't talk about our hair. You see that kind of weird dichotomy within their group, their community, how the men and women are split and divided. They like that because they want to divest and, go their own way. The black women, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but with the black males, they want to divest and they want to go, to Latin women and white women and mixed women is their preference. That's why when they want to go to Latin women, they're particularly trying to seek out the mixed women, like within the Dominican Republic or something, or Brazil. So they're trying to go that route. And they want to trick the North American mulatto women, the mulatto women in America. They want to trick them into thinking they're black. And the ones they're successful with, I see most of the time they're baby mamas. It's a done deal. They're going to be on YouTube crying and complaining, acting stupid, like this one fucking idiot is going to jump on some old Latino guy's channel, his panel, talking shit. She's an irrelevant, drunk criminal. I have no idea why she continues to act stupid and run her mouth. She's already been dealt with. She's a loser. But you still got those biracial baby mamas who still want to run their mouth and act relevant. It's just move along, ma'am. You're not a part of our group. Go over there in the black manosphere. Have a good day. Okay. So let's listen to what this guy has to say right here. Because this is a strategy, a tactic you gotta understand. They want to convince the women and lie to them. And I said this the last stream. They want to lie to the mixed women and tell them they're black when nobody else on the planet is going to tell these women they're black. They're all looking at them like, well, you're mixed. You got a white mom, you're mixed. It's only the black American male who's going to trick them and convince them they're black because he wants to get in the panties. That's it.
Ms. Harris as to say she does not care about us. I don't know that that is fair. From a human perspective, I would have to.
Oh, so he's a human now. From a human perspective, right? But he's a pro whack. I mean, that's, so the human stuff goes out the damn window. He's a pro whack. So black supremacist, basically.
She does have some human care for us. In terms of black culture, I personally wouldn't believe that she has the ability to care for us.
She doesn't have the ability to care for you for black culture. Why is that? She went to Howard University, HBCU. She's a part of one of the largest black female fraternities in the country. How does she not care for you? Because of her policies? Because she locked you motherfuckers up? Well, a lot of you people are fucking criminals. You're scum. You guys commit a lot of crime. It's part of your culture. We listen to your hip hop songs. You dance and sing about committing crimes and shit. That's your culture, boy. So she was in a position as a district attorney in the San Francisco area. She locked your ass up. She was doing her job. She was doing her job. But now you're trying to say she doesn't sympathize with black. She doesn't understand black culture. Really? What is black culture? Black culture in the United States of America is serving the Anglos and trying to position the mulatto men to be subordinates. Period. We're in 2025. You just saw what happened in 2024 with Kendrick, K-Dork, and Drake. That's all it is. For the mulatto men who are over here, we get it. We understand. And a lot more of you are going to understand. You're going to follow. You're going to find this page. You're going to listen to me. You're going to subscribe. You're going to be, oh, shit. I didn't know this guy was out here talking this shit. Yeah. Yeah. We already know what the game is, what the deal is, right? Right? Little Kendrick married to a mixed race woman, but he doesn't like the mixed race man, calling him a colonizer. This is the same shit you see with this guy here. And they'll try to talk like they're all smooth and they're all articulate and intelligent. It's the same pro whack ideology. Anti mulatto man, pro mulatta female, light skinned female.
As black people need to be cared for, not being one of us.
And then he's talking about Kamala Harris not being one of them. I need to make this point very clear. The reason why that Afrocentric pro whack is trying to critique Kamala Harris, because who is she married to? She's married to a white Jewish guy. There you go. See, they want to conquer you. They want to feel like they can bastardize you and make you a baby mama. Then they will accept you being black once they basically conquered you and defeated you. Like I said, you listen to this, there is some idiot who's on some Latino guy, old Latino guy's panel. She's still trying to act relevant. And like, yeah, she's got like multiple kids by multiple men, black baby daddies, and like that's a conquered individual. She can act like a tough feminist and all this shit, but she's pro black male, black manosphere adjacent. Like, go over there with them. You're conquered by the black males. And so the biracial males, the mulatto males, we don't want to deal with your dumb ass. Okay, there's only one Canadian fucktard who will deal with you, and nobody else takes you seriously. And this is a situation. So with this guy, like that's the thing with Kamala Harris, she's married to a white man. That's why these black American males have an issue with her. They don't like her because they want to feel like they want to bastardize her and conquer her. They feel like if she's with a black American male, they know she's conquered. She will acquiesce to their authority. And then they'll give her a pass. They'll claim her as being black. They will claim the whitest of the white. It doesn't matter what the hell she is. She could be Asian or they'll start saying the original people of China are black. The original people of Japan, the first Japanese samurais were black. The first original Filipinos were black. They'll pull all that monkey shit, okay, but to bastardize the women. They'll claim everybody is being black, original black, all the Latinos, everything. They'll do all that crap. And that's because they want to trick these females. That's it. But once those women get with a white partner, a non-black partner, all of a sudden they revoke the black card. You guys see the strategy? This is why he has an issue with Kamala Harris. He's not going to publicly say it, but I know this boy. I've studied him. I know exactly what it's all about. See, they want to feel like they got the woman conquered. Then they'll claim her, okay, because, that's it. That's all it is. Because Kamala Harris is not married to a black male. All of a sudden, he has an issue with it. So he's going to try to outgroup her. That's it. They want to conquer you. And their method of spreading their hegemony is through that bastardization process. That's it.
And it is a benefit to her to use the cultural superpower of blackness.
Cultural superpower. I love the whole cultural superpower, right? It's because you're in America, bro. You're North American. Doesn't matter if you're like Chicano or Asian American or Indian American, whatever. Ethnic extraction, because you're in the United States of America, you have a lot of benefits. But you guys want to cry like victims. See, you'll talk about this superpower of blackness crap as an American, but then you'll turn around and cry like a victim and shit. That's the sad part. It's like, pick your struggle, dude, Because I'm not over here saying it's bad to be mulatto. I see what the strategy is, how people want to basically prevent us from forming unions and connecting with each other. They want to sabotage. This is a public platform. It's like, well, shit, I'm just up here talking shit late at night. This isn't this, it's different when you're doing something behind the scenes, but collaborating. But it's like, I've never positioned myself as being, oh my God, it's so hard. It's so hard. No, my whole situation is, look, okay, it's not hard for us. We got to make the right choices, the right decisions, and find out what works for us. I've never positioned myself as being a victim. I'm just pointing out what other people do not want to point out. That's it. I'm a voice out here.
In her campaign. It's actually a shrewd business move to say, okay, hey, I'm going to be one of them because they have some cultural, not financial, but we can get some money. We can get some money. Like, us being us can create money, just not for us, which is another problem.
It's that victim stuff. And he can pull that crap with these biracial women, and they're kind of, naive enough to sit there and deal with it. He's a guest on their show. They're the center of the show. Pretty mulatta, So they'll bring his ass on here to talk this crap. And it's just that whole victim babble, pro-whack babble crap that they never get tired of spewing because they want to guilt trip the rest of the world to feel sorry for their ass, why they're not they're inadequate or not competing. And how the cowardice of them as well to be a conquered class and still acquiescing to their quote unquote colonizer, right? Just acquiescing to everybody. Because if you're black or you're black adjacent, they'll fight your ass. Like, that's why with the comment I put earlier, when the guy's talking about delineation, He's not talking about delineating from white Americans or delineating from Chicanos or delineating from mulatto Americans. He's specifically talking about delineating from black Americans or from black Africans, excuse me. Because you'll come to find out when you deal with these males in this group, they have all the smoke, they have all the energy to fight other black males. Something's not right there. You got the prisons in the United States filled with black males who will fight other black males over dumb shit. That doesn't make sense. Just straight savagery. But when it comes to the white guy or whatever, Mexican guy, Asian guy, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't do that. You know, they're all of a sudden they know better, right? So that's a defect on their part. Nothing to do with me. It's not a part of my group.
Why
True.
we're having a difficulty accepting that. But it is a shrewd business move for her to look and say, I'm going to use this cultural currency.
Cultural currency. You're less than 10% of the population. They say what, 13%? But that's because all these damn mulattoes claim you people. Even the two ladies on the damn panel you're talking to, the two ladies you're there, I guarantee you they check black. They identify as black. That's the thing. This whole idea of 13% black American, we got at least a third of that population in there that are mulattoes who identify as black. That's it. So their numbers are like, your numbers are nowhere significant compared to the Anglos and the Latinos. They have the numbers. And so this guy's acting like this cultural currency, cultural superpower. You're the entertainment class of North America. Like, I don't understand, like, the ego. Like, he's trying to like pat himself on the shoulder, the ego, the boost. It's very crazy. Like, you think he thinks he brings more to the table than what he really does, where it's just like, bro, you're here to kind of entertain us and make us laugh and smile. That's kind of what your job is. Don't get mad at me. I mean, you could trick the females, which seems like you're doing, but they're at the center of it. It's their show. You're on their show. You're a guest on their show. So they're winning, not you, bro. I don't know who you are, but let's continue on.
Yeah.
To raise money, to raise awareness, actually is going to kind of make me, she's a 60-year-old woman, it's going to kind of make me appear.
A 6-year-old woman, and she looks damn good for 60-year-old. We talk about Kamala Harris. You talk about her age. How old is she? She's like 59, I think 60. 60 years old, yeah. She had her birthday in October. And I'm going to be real, she looks pretty damn good for a 6-year-old woman. People can say what they want about her. They don't like her politics. I get it. She's a basically bought and paid for sock puppet politician, Kamala Harris. Not a good one as well. She rose through the ranks pretty quickly, I might add. I was living in California when she ran for the Senate seat, and she won that easily. She went against, was it Loretta Sanchez for the Senate seat? And she won that easily. And Loretta Sanchez, her sister was a representative. Loretta Sanchez was already the senator there. So, like, the two sisters were kind of a powerhouse in California politics. And her being a, multiracial, like a Blindian, we can say, black and Indian. Her father's mulatto, her mom's Indian, and like her beating a Latino politician in the election in a majority Latino state was pretty impressive for Kamala Harris. So she became a senator, she rose through the ranks very quickly is what I'm saying. And then she got selected. She ran for the presidency, failed miserably. Then, Donald or Joe Biden, the other idiot, they're all knuckleheads to me, what I'm seeing right now. And then, Joe Biden selected her to be VP. Okay. And then she ran against Donald and lost miserably. So she's got a couple L's there, but she did rise through the ranks very quickly. So, and as a 60-year-old woman, who's good looking, I give her that. I give the credit where credit's due. She's good looking, whatever. But she's a politician. What do you expect? She's like, you think she's that much different than Donald? Really? Some of these knucklehead MAGA fucktards will make you think she is. But we can see how the MAGA fucktards have acquiesced to this South African Elon Musk. I'm not even going to get into the political shit because it's a complete shit show. Before the guy's even sworn into office, completely fucked MAGA right in the rear end. It's such a joke. It's such a friggin' joke. No H-1B visas. They're taking our jobs and no immigration, blah, blah, blah. You got some South African immigrant who bought and paid your fucking president, Donald Trump, and he's telling you, oh no, the H-1B visas, they're good. It's good. You guys are hilarious. Whatever. I'm just here to watch it all.
cool with the young
Yeah,
people.
wanna be
I'm gonna make
dope.
sure Gen Z knows I love
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually a good business move. People that say she's not intelligent, I would
Okay, just want to check out that one. I got another one I want to share with you guys that is going to be equally as good, because this is the thing. The reason why he had an issue, that guy, with claiming, I'm going to repeat it again, claiming Kamala Harris is black, or not being in tune with black culture, or not having the kind of how do I want to say this? Not looking out for black folks. He's saying that because she's not married to a black American male. This is how they think. They think with their third leg. This is what it is. He's not going to publicly say that because he'll look, indecent. But I know, and other men who listen to me, they know damn well that's really what it is. Other men who are kind of my similar background, I might add, who've studied this or observed this, lived with these, seen these individuals, we know this is what it is. When a mulatto woman or a mixed woman is not bastardized by a black male, all of a sudden they want to question her blackness. Well, I don't know if she's really for blacks. I don't know. And he talked about her age because she's 60, because it's more than likely she's already married to a white guy. She's not going to just find some magical black and then start a family and, be bastardized by him. It's not going to happen. She chose her route and it's worked out good for her. She's one of the most powerful women in the fucking world. Why would she change it for some low level FBA pro whack? Like, these people are just chirpers on the internet. They're no power. It's laughable. They're here to sing songs for us. They have no power. So why would Kamala Harris listen to any of them? Like this what's his name? Joe Brown or something? Jim Brown? Some little light skin, little black, from was he from Tennessee or Memphis or something? He was a judge. Remember the Judge show, Judge Joe Brown or something? Yeah, he's talking crap about Kamala Harris. Like this, like, who cares, man? He's nobody. He ran for mayor, probably lost. Antiquated. You're gonna grift off the pro wax out there in FBA crowd. It's hilarious. Like, Kamala Harris is probably one of the most powerful women in, like I said, in North America. Why the hell would she give a damn what these powerless former slaves have to say about anything? It's laughable. But yeah, that guy wanted to tell her, well, I don't know if she's really pro black or she has the benefit of black people. Yeah, you want to know why? Because she's not married to a black or has a baby. She has a kid by a black. That's a deal breaker to them. It's all about sex with them. That's how they conquer these other groups, is they have to bastardize. Okay. So we're going to get to the next clip, and he's going to claim these women. Oh, for these women on this podcast, these kind of like Amish biracial women, he's going to tell them, oh, well, they're black women. The world's going to see them as black. He's going to say that because these are young women. The guy is an older guy. It's the same guy. I'm going to play the clip. Same guy, but these women are younger women. So he thinks he's going to trick them. He's going to gaslight them and try to trick them and fool them into thinking they're black and pull on their heartstrings and try to like maneuver, like try to be a smooth talker or some crap to trick them to think they're black. He's going to see, he's the only type of person. I've said this on my last stream when I didn't even know about this guy. I just saw one clip from these women and I was like, nobody in the right mind would ever call these women black. It's only black men in America specifically who will call these women black because they want to punk them and bastardize them. Black women are telling them, they have all these videos on TikTok telling them, you guys aren't even black. Don't talk about black women's hair. You guys are mixed. White people, everyone else on the planet will tell them, you guys are mixed. You clearly don't look black. The only demographic who will trick them and fool them into thinking they're black is black American males because they want to punk them and bastardize them. That's their preference. Look, this is what it is. And I saw this, and like I said, things with Kamala Harris, I already said, because she's older. He even said, oh, she's 60. She's 60. He's not going to say he doesn't support her because she's married to a white man. But that's how all these people, that's how they operate. But with these women here, they're not married. They don't have any kids. They're young women, impressionable, biracial. So that's why he's like, okay, this is a good target. He feels like this is a good target. He can target them and trick them into thinking they're black so he can confuse them, punk them, and bastardize them. right? This is a way to conquer them, to absorb them into blackness. This is their strategy. This is Bantu expansionism. Okay.
As young black women, blah blah blah. People were like, "You can't say that."
Why can't you?
Because we have to say that we're mixed.
Mixed with what?
So there's the
People
section that
disagree
say
all
you
over.
can't say you're black, but then that breaks off into people that say you should say you're biracial.
What is biracial?
Two races.
You see how he acts fucking stupid? Well, what is biracial?
Say you should say you're biracial.
What is biracial?
What is biracial? You see how he acts fucking stupid? Because he's talking to mixed women. If he had Drake in front of him and Drake was like, oh, I'm biracial, I got a white mom, he would accept it and understand it. But you notice how you gotta analyze this Bantu. This is what they do. They know they can try to smooth talk and with their R&B and shit and act stupid and trick this young mulatto female, right? That shit doesn't work with the men or other people. Like they can only play this smooth talking, acting stupid crap with the females. Well, what is a biracial? Do you understand English? What the hell do you mean? Biracial, two races. Means they're not black. They're just as white as they are black. Now, I use the term mulatto because it's ultra specific. There's no confusion. So when fucktards like this guy runs up in here in my chat, he sees mulatto women. This guy's not going to try to act stupid. Well, biracial, there's other types of biracial, it's not just black and white. Yeah, dummy. That's why we say mulatto. You know what it is, bro. We're just as white as we are black. This is the fusion, the European African. This is a different spot than what they're accustomed to. They're accustomed to having society kowtow for them and coddle them, kind of pat them on the back and say, you're a good little slave. We know, we feel sorry for you. The white guilt, and kind of give you, money to go to college. You could be a professor and preach to us. And yeah, they've been coddled in this society. And that's what it is, man. So they want to play this stupid game with the rest of us. A guy like me, I'm like, I'm not playing with you. Yeah. What is biracial? What is biracial? Yeah. You see how he acts stupid with these women? Because he's going to turn around and trick these women and try to tell them they're black. That's all it is you guys have to understand the Bantu strategy of mate guarding.
Two races, right? And then we disagree with that.
Races.
And there's people that do disagree with that. Like, you can't say you're biracial. Let's say you're multi-ethnic.
Oh, we talked about with people the one drop rule and the image you carry too. Like in America, we are white.
She said, in America, we are white. Yes, ma'am. I'm looking at you. You are just as white as you are black. Because you look at the guy you're sitting across, he's a dark-skinned black. Now, he'll lie to your ass like the rest of them, and he'll say he's a brown skin. I'm a brown skin MGM. I'm a brown skin exotical. You're black. You're not the same as us mulattoes. I mean, I'm going to be the one to tell your ass that. Other people will dance around it, but because you have people who are blacker than Shaquille O'Neal trying to tell you that they're not really dark skinned, they're brown skinned. It's really, when you deal with a lot of these characters, man, it's really sad out here. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you, but that's what it is. Like, and she's sitting there saying, like, yeah, in America, she's white. Yeah, you got a white mom. I'm looking at you on the screen, ma'am. Yeah, you're just as white as you are black. Like that black shit, the one drop rule, it's not special. This isn't the 1930s. Don't let them trick you. We're 100 years past from that. So yeah, the black is not dominant. The whole world's not going to see you as black. And he's going to try to trick her and tell her that around the world, they're going to see you as black. And no, they're not. You go to Africa, go to Ghana, like I went to Ghana. They're going to let your ass know right away. You're not black like them. Even Afropean Monika, God bless her. I just talked about her with the comments from the other segment. And she's been to Ghana plenty times, as I have. We both been to Ghana. And Afropean Monika, in Ghana, there's a term they call it a broomy, which means like a white person. And she's been called that. I've been called that. I've been called a white man in Ghana. So it's like when mulattoes like me or Monica or this lady on the screen, if we go to Ghana, they're not going to call us black. When you go to a majority black nation, they're right away, they're going to be like, no. Like I think in Zimbabwe, they are not Zimbabwe, excuse me, in Liberia, they'll call you Yankee. And then, like I said, in Ghana, they'll call you Broomy, which is white. And then in Kenya, they'll call you Mzungu, and that's white. Like, so they'll one drop you into whiteness in these mostly black African nations. So don't let this black American trick you, this black American male, because that's significant. He's a male, so he's thinking with his third leg. Don't let him trick you. When he's talking to the females, he wants to sit there and try to trick you, thinking, well, the rest of the world's going to see you as black, so you got to identify with me and be one of my baby mamas. And this is all it is, guys. I mean, people can say what they want. I don't like your tone, Mulatto Vanguard. I don't like how you deliver your message. You could be nicer. This is what it is. I had someone in one of my comments, one of my videos. I just deleted their stupid comment. I love blocking people. I just want to let you guys know. I'll let you know every other day too. I love blocking people. I love deleting comments and blocking you. You people, you act like you have a right to be over here. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, just like when we, the mulattoes, were over in your little spaces, you tried to silence us and censor us. Well, when you want to come up into our spaces, I'm going to let you know who runs the show over here. So I had somebody who put a comment who was like, you need to be nicer about this or look at it this way. This, no. Just delete the comment and get out of here. I don't have to do a damn thing. If you don't like the video, go watch someone else's video. Plain and simple. I have a specific audience, a specific target demographic that I'm speaking to, and they're getting the message. I see them. They're in the chat right now. Shout out to you guys. I see these mulattoes who are tuning in. I have a specific demographic I'm speaking to, and they are absorbing the message. That's it. Mission accomplished. So these other kind of like, interlopers and just whatever random people who stroll along and like, hey, you should probably say this and be nicer how you position. No, I don't have to do a damn thing. Everything I'm doing is working perfectly. Let me continue on with this, guys.
Our moms are white, our dads are black, so we are white, but we can't carry that image.
Well, here's what's happening. And again, it's from a lack. I think this is an example of a lack of a definition of a nation of people.
Yeah, and he's going to push his pseudoscience pro-whack babble to trick these mulatto women into identifying as black. Remember, if it was Drake or a bunch of biracial men in front of him, he would not have the same conversation. He doesn't want to claim them as being a quote-unquote authentic black like him. They only reserve that spot for the females so they can bastardize them and conquer them.
People. So are you white? Well, yes, my mother's white, certainly. So you could say biracial. In America, this is why I like the term African American so much, because African American.
He said he likes the term African American so much because it doesn't mean shit. Because Elon Musk is an African American. He's a white man, but he's African American. Charlize Theron is African American. She's a white woman, but she's African American. That's why he loves the term African American, because it doesn't mean a damn thing. Africa has 54 countries in the continent of Africa. So an Egyptian, I don't know a prominent Egyptian. I can't name one, like a famous Egyptian movie star or whatever. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I do want to go to Egypt eventually. I do. That's on my destination list. I think it looks like a beautiful place to go. Cairo, etc. Explore the pyramids. But Egyptians, I've met a couple. I work with a dude in the security business, Egyptian guy, and they're African American. They come to America, they're African American because they're from the African continent. Same thing with Morocco. But these are Arabs. They're Arabic people. They're not Bantus. They're not sub-Saharan, Congolese or Nilotic Africans. They're Arabic. So this idea, like, that's why he likes the term African American, because American, it's so broad and ambiguous. It's not specific. It can mean anything. That's Elon Musk is an African American. See, and I'm telling you guys, he likes that term because he wants to use that to cloak and to trick these mulatto women into saying they're black, so he can trick them to think they're a part of his group, to punk them and bastardize them. That's all it is sexual competition. But if it was Drake who was standing right in front of him, he would throw all that African American shit out the window. He's like, oh no, well, you're from Canada, your mom's Jewish, your dad's African American, but your mom's from Canada, so yeah, you could be biracial, but you're not the same as me. You see what they're doing? The whole Kendrick crowd, because the whole Kendrick crowd, they're on his team. The guy on the screen, they're on his side. It's the same type of confusion, the shit they push. See, they open up the door for the women, but the men, they're like, oh, well, you're different. You're biracial. You're not African American. You see how that works, guys? But they like the word African American and people of color and this type of crap because it doesn't mean a damn thing. And they can always redefine and readjust like the meaning for it. And they do that to work in their favor. So they can basically prop up their numbers and make it seem like they have more numbers and more influence than they really do. When you got a whole mulatto movement that is basically, marching on. Okay. Small, but it's growing and they're not stopping it.
American, the image that you bear, not just in America, but around the world, you will not go anywhere in the world, no matter what, and they say you're white.
Now he's a piece of shit fucking liar. And I'll say it like that because I've already prior said that in Africa, you go to Ghana, I've been, Afropean Monika has been, they will literally tell you to your face, white woman, white man, a broomy is the term they use colloquially in that land. Broomy, which is like white person. Let me see if I can do a quick search and see the actual definition, what it means. If I can find it. If not, maybe I can provide some further clarification in the future. Or O Broomy. I think there's an O in front of it. O Broomy. Yeah, O Bruni is a Akan word for foreigner, literally meaning those who come from over the horizon. It is often colloquially translated into white person. It's O Bruni. Let me share this with you guys. Yeah. And Afropean Monika, like I said, she actually has a video on her channel, published on her channel, where someone in the background called her, said a Bruni. And she's like, I'm not American. Don't say that, But because she's more acquainted with the land. But I was out there and they say El Bruni. And there's people, Black Americans will take offense to that. And they called me a white man. I was like, Jesus Christ, I've never been called a white man in my entire life. Go to Africa, go to Ghana with real, authentic Black people. And they'll let you know, hey, you're white. You're not one of them. It's O Bruni. I was pronouncing it wrong. There's an O in front of it. It says, is a Akan, which is their main language in Ghana, word for foreigner, literally meaning those who come from over the horizon. It is often colloquially common speech, common language with the local people, translated into white person. Exactly. And that's why this guy, he's lying to these women. He's lying to these women. He's trying to tell these women, oh, well, it doesn't matter. You could go anywhere in the world and nobody's going to say that you're white. He is a lying piece of shit. And I'll say that publicly because he's a lying bastard. He's telling these mixed women that he's trying to trick them and fool them into thinking they can't be anything else but Black. Well, the world's going to see you as Black. So you just have to identify as Black. And let me get in your pants so I can bastardize you, make you a baby mama. It's like, fuck out of here. It's so disgusting and despicable, but we see the method and strategy of what's going on. This is what it is. If it was Drake right in front of him or any other mulatto man, he would not be trying to convince that man, oh, the world's going to see you as a Black man. Or he'll try to position some dumb shit where you got to be underneath me. Drake is like, fuck you. I'm the best. That's why they hate Drake. Because they try to pull that dumb shit, try to tell him he's underneath them. No, I'm not underneath you people. No, you got to dance and sing for me. Fuck that. You got to help give me money or do something for me. And see, that's why they don't like Drake. Because Drake is not out here trying to be underneath them. But now they're just moving along, trying to trick these women and trying to scare them. Oh, the world's going to see you as Black. Everywhere in the world, they're not going to say you're white. It's a damn lie, bro. Damn lie. I got firsthand knowledge, just like Afropean Monika. We got firsthand knowledge that you go to these African nations, they're going to tell you you're white. You're not Black. So no, the whole world doesn't just see you as Black. Everybody else knows a damn difference. But this Black American, former slave, FBA, gaslighting tactics, they're antiquated. They're out. They're overplayed, bro. Try something else. Let me continue on with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes people say you're not Black because they can say for any reason, because how you're dressed, you're not Black, or because you're not from the hood, you're not Black, or
Right.
because you never did whatever, you're not Black. You know what I mean? And they're not saying
They're not Black because they have a white mom. Or if they had a white dad and their mom was Black, they're not Black. Biracial people, mulatto people, they're not black. The black gene is not dominant. If you have a non-black parent, you're not black. These people have a hard time accepting that reality because they're losing political and cultural influence in the United States of America. This is why they're hell-bent on pushing the one drop rule and enforcing the one drop rule, because they want to keep you as a subordinate underneath them to boost their numbers. They want you to be a minority amongst them instead of doing your own situation. It makes no sense. Why the hell? Who wants to be underneath powerless people? It just makes no sense. The biracial baby mamas will tell you it's a good thing. You anti-black mulatto vanguard. And yet you got some drunk criminal who's was on the internet talking about how she's superior to blacks because she's mixed. This is the same fucktard who's going to run around being like, you're anti-black. You can't make it up. Let's continue on.
Not saying you don't belong to this nation.
Mhm.
They're often rather saying you don't fit my experience of what I have understood what black people are, or the media or projection of what black women are. And again, the lack is because there's no leadership defining that.
There's no leadership defining. You just need a leader. You just need Kamala Harris. You just need Martin Luther King Jr. You just need George Floyd. You just need a leader. You people are always looking for a leader. Even the whites now, it's very sad and pathetic. You look at the Anglos looking for a leader, and they got completely fucking played by Donald Trump, a multi-billionaire. They thought he was going to help their ass. I get it with the whites because a lot of them, the Anglos, they even the broke ass poor ones, because they just want someone to look down on. Like that famous quote from Lyndon B. Johnson. Like they'll empty out their pockets if you just give them someone they can look down on. I get it. I understand this country, this culture, this country. It's part of my heritage. I grew up around them. I get it. But I see a lot of these Latinos for Trump. It's like, Jesus Christ, you know. And then blacks for Trump is just the biggest joke. These people are hilarious. And then Trump is selling all you idiots out to some South African guy, and Vivek Ramaswamy, some Indian guy, to bring in foreigners to take your damn jobs. Instead of training you to be a software engineer or to work in tech, he's trying to convince you that you got to get some H-1B visas, bring in these foreigners instead of training Americans to do these jobs. You guys are fucking idiots, man. And these people wanted to vote for Trump because of the eggs, the cost of eggs. That was the whole conversation. I was telling one of my Brazilian students, I think I kind of scared him off, but I was laughing at it, kind of telling one of my students, was like, some of these Americans are fucking despicable, man, and they're dumb as fuck. Like they're out here trying to talk about, oh, the price of eggs, the price of milk. So, if Donald Trump gets in office, he's going to lower inflation. We won't have to pay for eggs and milk in the richest country in the world. When you can grow your own fucking fruit, I'm growing my own tomatoes and peppers. You can have your own chicken coop. You can grow, herd your own cattle. You can grow your own shit. And you got some stupid, dumb ass MAGA fucktards who are out here saying they voted for Trump because of inflation, because they wanted lower grocery price. I mean, the stupidest, dumbest motherfuckers. It's very bad out here, bro. It is very bad. It is very bad. And they fuck themselves up and they want the rest of us to pay for it. All right, we'll see. We'll see. As long as I invest in the right stocks and I invest in the right opportunities, I'm going to make sure I get money off you idiots out here. Fuck that. Celtic Mulatto puts, have you ever heard about former mayor? Yeah, Willie Brown. Yeah, she rose through the ranks through Willie Brown in that kind of San Francisco cabal with Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, and the rest of them. Yeah, I know all about that. Yeah, the thing is with Bunny Strange, because you're a mulatto woman. Yeah, the guy, he's thinking with his third leg. And I'm saying, like, I know some women, they kind of don't get it. I'm not saying you don't get it, but some other women, they don't understand that. But as a male, I'm looking at that guy. He'll pretend to be intellectual with his little stupid hat on, right? But it's very obvious what his deal is. He wants to trick the women to identify as black so that they will be more acquiescent to black male persuasion. But then if you just change the whole gender, if it was a biracial male, he would convince the biracial male, oh, you should identify as biracial. You can be a biracial. You're not a black like me. He'll gatekeep blackness. But it's the same with the women. Black women will gatekeep blackness from biracial women. They don't want biracial women, representing them as being black. Those women on the panel I shared, they basically experienced that. A lot of people had commentary on TikTok to telling them, you're not real black women, you're mixed. You see, but the black men will try to tell them that they're black so they can get in their pants. It's a interesting dichotomy we see, their whole gender war, how they want us to fall for that crap. He damn well knows what biracial is. He is trying to let them feel guilty or wrong to identify as mixed race. Exactly. He is clearly an advocate of the one drop rule, only for the women, though. Exactly. Yeah, he is an advocate for the one drop rule. That's why he likes the word African American, so they can claim whites like Elon Musk and Charlize Theron, and also claim the mulattoes. He claim everyone is black. That's what the whole African American doesn't mean shit. You'll claim the Arabs as black, or some Asian, some Chinese who was born and raised in Africa, moves to America. They're African American. He's gonna claim them as African Americans. Yeah, he loves the broad ambiguous because it's the one drop rule. It makes them feel more powerful, like they have more numbers. They're trying to claim Hispanics and shit now. It's backfired on them. That's why they're always butthurt when they see the Hispanics don't side with them, where all these Hispanics and Latinos sided with Trump, the Anglo. And like a lot of these people, they're like butthurt about, like, they're not surprised. Like for me, I'm not surprised. I'm from California. I grew up seeing this shit. But a lot of these pro-wax, they're like surprised that the Latinos didn't like side and team up with them, with the Democrats and Kamala, and they went with Trump, the Anglo grifter guy, not even married to an American. He's married to a Slovenian. That's why I get a kick out of that. He's so pro-American. He's married to a fucking foreign woman. Fucking idiots. Most black men who question what biracial is to mixed peoples is because they need sexual access to these women. As we all know, mixed race women are number one choice for black men. Exactly. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's why you're a moderator here. That's why I value your input and expertise, your commentary. Celtic mulatto, you know what it is. That's why I tell people, I'm talking to the broad audience now. Like, I have people over here who've been over here since day one, since I started doing this. They understand what it is. Okay, the mulatto men over here, we get it. We understand what it is. When we see the Bantu male who's trying to act stupid, or we're all biracial, we're all mixed, there's no such thing as mixed and blah, blah, blah. But they talk to that to the women because they want to get in the pants. They want access, right? But when you put a biracial man, like Drake or something like that, or Barack Obama, all of a sudden they know what a biracial is when it's a man, right? A competitor male. All of a sudden they know what it is. We all see it. I just wish that more men would kind of call it out. So these Bantu dudes, they don't act so stupid, because I'm kind of insulted. That's why my delivery, the choice of words I'm using can be kind of off-putting or a little vulgar, because I'm just insulted that they sit up here and try to act stupid with us, that we don't understand, that we don't know it's all about sexual access, because their preference are these women, mixed women, and they want to trick them and lie to them and tell them they're black when they know damn well all these black women don't look at them and see them as black, right? But then they will not offer the same kind of, generosity to the men. They want to try to tell us, the men, well, you're not the same as us. We're like, well, fuck, I'm not trying to be like you savages anyways. What the hell? Don't talk to me. Mixed race women who live in the hood or surrounded themselves by all black women are doomed to be baby mamas being ran through. I have seen this over 20 years. Exactly. There was some idiot who was on this old Latino guy's panel earlier today. She's one of them. She's like one of the biggest doxers and criminals in the whole golden sphere space. She's one of them. She's got a kid by a bunch of black guys, and she hates biracial men. Yeah, this is what it is. And they grew up with them, and they're in the hood with them. They're ran through, 5 baby daddies, 3 kids. They got 5 baby daddies. That's what it is. Yeah. That crap And it only works on them. And they know their last ditch effort for legitimacy is to push this whole like, oh, well, you're anti-black. You're anti-black. You're anti that's all they have left because they know they're basically wasted and done and ran through. Nobody else takes them seriously. So now they're going to try to convince all the black people that this person's anti-black and I'm a good biracial. Fuck out of here. Kendrick Lamar is a hypocrite. He talks about Drake, but he got a mixed light-skinned wife, the same complexion as Drake. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is just a complete fool. They're I'm glad he finally touched the "Gotta Be Me" show. Oh yeah, yeah. Those mixed women. Yeah, I might get into it more later on as well. But I did talk about the other day. But I came across one of their videos on TikTok, and I saw this guy because I talked about them on my other channel. Like a couple days ago, I believe, on my other Mulatto history channel, and I was referencing that live stream off what the Exotical Spice video did because I didn't even know I didn't see them on TikTok. It's just I follow Exotical Spice channel and she talked about it, those women, and I saw a bunch of black women who were hating on them for being biracial, talking about black women or black women's hair or something like that. So I talked about it from that lens. But then for whatever reason, like yesterday or the day before, I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw the woman's channel. I was like, okay, this is their channel. Gotta be me. And I saw this black dude on the channel, and I saw one of the clips where they asked the guy. I just played the clip for you guys, where the guy was like, "Well, what is biracial? What is biracial?" And he tried to trick these women that, well, around the world, biracial, you're just going to be seen as black. I was like, okay, let me talk about this because this is what these bastards do. They target the women and trick the women thinking they're black women. And I said this on my stream the other day. Nobody on the planet would call those women black except for black males who want to get in their pants. That's how they trick these women. And I knew it. And I saw this guy and trying to say, "Oh, I don't know what biracial is. What is biracial?" Well, you can say you're biracial, but around the world, they're just going to see you as black. You know that, right? I had to get up here and talk about it because it's like, you know, this shit is such a joke and not that many people are made aware. So I got to, make people aware about it. He is full of crap. Africans call the children left behind by English soldiers white and shun them from the overall community. I'm going to talk about that as well. Thank you for that, Dana. I'm going to talk about that as well in Kenya specifically. Yeah. Yeah. There's a British soldiers who have mixed kids and they basically leave the kids, abandon them, and they run off back to Europe. Thank you for that comment. I'm gonna actually do a live stream about that. I do have that kind of backlogged. I want to talk about that. That is a real thing. So true with propping up their numbers. They always use when you go anywhere in the world, they won't see you as white. However, they won't say they will never see you as black or mixed. Yeah, they're full of it. They're full of it. You guys gonna call in or what? You guys gonna call in? You guys gonna call in? I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna get through the rest of these comments quickly as I can and then get the hell out of here. Call in though, guys. Give me something to give me some material. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Guys are shout out to Celtic Mulatto. This is spot on. It says most black people have low self-worth in being black, so they gaslight mixed race peoples, forcing them to identify as black. Psychological manipulation, aka gaslighting, crabs in a bucket mentality, precisely. And you see that with the guy there that I shared earlier on the screen. Let me see. I could probably just kind of give you a visual again, just so you guys can see. He clearly looks like a individual with extreme low self-esteem. Like I said, if he had this guy here, if he had Drake, if he had a confident, competent mulatto man in front of him, he would not be trying to convince that guy that he's black like him. Unless the guy had a lot of money or something that, maybe, I don't know, maybe Drake, we can try to grift off him and get some money or something. But no, for the most part, he would not. For the most part, he just wants access to the female. Because excuse me, didn't Drake already lay that out in one of his verses when he exemplified it perfectly in his Family Matters verse with little K Dork? Didn't Drake say, you the black messiah, wifing up a mixed queen, but you're hitting vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem? Talking about he's got a mixed race, light skin baby mama, Whitney. We're talking about the dark skin, short Bantu Kendrick Lamar, but he's cheating on her, the mixed woman, with vanilla cream. That's what Drake was implying. You wifing up the mixed queen, but you hitting on vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem. So he's with the white chicks, the snow bunnies, to help out with his self-esteem issues, to make himself feel better. And Drake has already analyzed that, psychologically calculated that. This is what you're dealing with. That's why it was easy for Drake to dissect that little buster and punk him. And the culture, you see, that's just they just gatekeeping mulatto males, right? That's the whole culture is just fake fabricated shit they make up. Because remember, the cookout, it's open to everybody. They're conquered people. They're captured and conquered by Anglos in North America. They're not going anywhere. So this idea about like gatekeeping culture and blah blah blah, everybody has access to their culture. It's always been that way. In the 70s with disco and R&B and Marvin Gaye and the Isley Brothers and James Brown, and then in the 80s with Michael Jackson, like they've always been conquered, captured people. Like they're trying to act like they can gatekeep their culture and all this shit from the biracial man when white people have always had access to their culture. You got like Izzy Exalia, the Australian. You got Jack Harlow, whatever his name is. You got these white rappers like Eminem, Vanilla Ice. They've always had access to their little culture. Their culture is open for business. Everyone's invited to the cookout, but they only pull that gatekeeping shit with the mulatto men. I'm trying to get the men to get that. Celtic mulatto gets it. He understands it. You're an older gentleman as well, older than me, I would say, but you understand what's going on. Don't even get me started with Rick Ross, how he be calling Drake a white boy, but he wouldn't keep that same energy for Eminem, and he's white, and a lot of these black men are scared. Yeah, the black men bend over backwards and serve white males, Angelos. Every major sport, they have white coaches, white owners, even Kanye West. He's another one of these Anglo worshippers. All of them, all of them. They all. That's why, like, as a mulatto man, it makes no sense. Like, it just makes no. I see these guys, I'm like, bro. Like, that's why I have a lot of shit to say, kind of with like J. Cole, because I'm like, bro, you look at least like with the what's his name, Drake. People were hating on Drake because they saw, oh, they're trying to, the blacks are trying to demonize him. It's like, oh, he had a Hell's Angel in his video, his Family Matters video. He was talking or chopping it up with some like biker gang guy. People are saying he was connected with the Hell's Angels, but Drake is smart. He knows, like, if you're going to outgroup him and try to punk him, he's going to connect with people and find connections, and he's going to fight back. It's an open market out here. See, and they want you to make you think that you have no options. I'm trying to tell these mulattoes, like, don't try to fall for this shit and be like a J. Cole guy where you're stuck and you're apologizing. J. Cole is very talented. He's a sick rapper. I like J. Cole. I think he's a great lyricist. He's a good rap. He's got a lot of skills. I like hip hop, clearly. I'm very eclectic. I like a lot of musical genres. I think J. Cole's very talented, but that bitch shit he did trying to acquiesce to the Bantus is despicable. When the mulatto men, you got to call it out, guys. You got to call it out. I'm one voice. I want to see other guys call it out. Be like, this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. The Bantu serves these Anglos. Like this guy saying here, where Rick Ross and the rest of them, Eminem can diss them and shit. And these savages aren't going to say a fucking thing when Eminem or their white massa punks them and disses them. But when the biracial guy does a little slick diss, all of a sudden they get uppity. Yeah, I'm just surprised these mulattoes don't say anything. Mulatto men don't really call it out. Darker skinned black men will claim mixed light skinned women as black, but the light skinned men is who they'll punch down on. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you see it, I see it. It's very common. It should be common knowledge now. Shout out to LSP, the freckle face artist. Said, I am for Trump. Blacks are the only demographic that vote 90% Democrat. That's a herd mentality. Some MAGA vote for inflation only. Democrat advocate for all things LGBT and immorality. Yeah. He needs to stop forcing them to be black. He only does that with the women. You're talking about the guy I had on the screen. They only do that crap with the women. Nobody else, like, nobody else cares. Right? He's not gonna do it with the men because they're competing with the men for the women. That's the thing. A lot of guys, it's not clicking with them because a lot of the mulatto men, the lighter skinned men, they think these darker skinned guys are like their buddies or their brother, their pal. They come to realize, oh shit, they're actually competing with you for access to women. You're like, what the fuck? I identified with you. I'm trying to be cool with you. Like with the whole, I'm gonna bring it back to J. Cole. Where J. Cole thinks, oh, this is his family, this is his fam, his peoples, and all this, and they're actually competing with him against him. And they're teaming up like what they did with Drake. You had a bunch of dark skins team up against Drake. Like, if that is not an eye-opener to the mulatto men in North America, I don't know what the fuck is. That's why with me, I just laugh. I'm gonna keep moving on and traveling and dealing with who I want to deal with moving forward, because I sit there and laugh. The whole 2024, the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, like if that was not an eye opener to you mulatto men in America, man, you're lost in the fucking sauce. If you're this slow to the game, haven't figured it out yet, right? You put a lot of dark skinned men has a superiority complex when they come across a light skinned woman that they will date us light-skinned men, including other races. They get upset and bring out their insecurities. Yeah, they get really upset. I experienced that in Brazil when I was with my friend Beatrice, who's a light-skinned Mulatta woman. The title they use is Parda in Brazil. And we were sitting there having dinner on the beach in Copacabana. And there was a dark-skinned Bantu American male there. And he's mouthed off and made a slur. So after I was done, I stepped up and made a slur. That's how I approach him in today's world, and just kept him moving. But like, he's the one who initiated it. So remember, because they'll turn around and cry and say, you're anti-black, you're anti-black. But it's like, wait a second, you're anti-mulatto. We got to double check the sources and be like, well, wait a second. You made an anti-mulatto comment, but you're surprised that someone made an anti-black comment. So, but see, that's the game they'll play. So you're right. I'm saying is that when I was over there in Brazil, yeah, he was upset with the fact I was just minding my own business, sitting with this woman. He didn't have any woman with him. This dark skinned Bantu had another dark skinned Bantu sitting. He was like his buddy or whatever, sitting next to him. And they were sitting there, and I was just minding my business with this woman, you know, just living our lives. And he had an issue with that. And so that's, yeah. And I've seen that as well in the United States. There was a job site I was working on, and there was a mulatto woman who was working there, and we're on the same team, and she came up to me and just showed a lot of interest. She was like super flirtatious. And this is during my epiphany stage when I realized that the dark skins were super jealous of us, because I saw like the look in the eyes of this dark skinned guy, and how he was jealous and he was irritated and bothered the fact that this mulatta woman, she's a mulatta, who was like into me, like flirting with me, and I didn't give a shit. I'm like it's open market. You're Latina, mulatto, white, whatever you are. If you're an attractive woman, you're feminine. It's a more open market, and I'm friendly and cordial. But this dark skinned guy had an issue. That's really when I first saw it. I've seen it before too, like when white girls showed interest in me, and some dark skin kind of got all jealous and shit. But yeah, with this mulatto chicks, it's happened a few times. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's happened several times. They'll show their insecurities with that. Let me continue on. One of them looks like their grandmother. You should do a Tommy Sotomayor remake of Mixed Chicks Aren't Black, as he is no longer on YouTube. Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor is a buster. He doesn't like mixed men. He's a typical cockroach. He doesn't like the mixed men, but he likes the mixed women. He advocates for the mixed women. He only props up the mixed women to kind of piss off black women. That's his whole shtick, is to talk crap on black women. My shtick is to let mulattoes know you're not the same as the blacks. And if you feel like you're the same, you can, gracefully stay over there. But what they never do that. They always jump back over into my shit, watching what I'm doing and trying to report back and say, well, you're anti-black. Like I said, like this drunk criminal who's over there on this old Latino guy's channel talking shit. That's all it is. Like they can't mind their own business and do their own shit and grow their own channel. They got to watch what I'm doing over here. Be like, well, they're anti-black, they're, try to like smear me or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? This is the same idiot who said she's superior to black people because she's mixed race. What the fuck? This is stupid. So Tommy Sotomayor, that's part of that crowd. Like Tommy Sotomayor only capes for mixed women, not mixed men. He only capes for mixed women because he wants to make black women jealous. I don't like Tommy Sotomayor. Never have and never will. It's just a dumb cockroach. Okay. A lot of dark-skinned men don't like us light-skinned men being preferred by white women, including other non-black women, because they feel like we are not black enough to date them. Yeah. Yeah. I find there's also enough biracials telling other non-black people they're black, and those people assuming we all identify as such. The worst enemy of the biracials are other biracials. I agree. I think I have something for you right there. Do I have a sound bite? Yeah, do that. Oh, shit. The worst enemy of biracials are other biracials. And I just said it. I said it about this idiot. There's some drunk criminal on YouTube who she loves drama. She's addicted to drama. And then when you check her ass and fucking perma check her, I've already have videos and dealt with her ass. And then she cries victim and all this stuff. And it's like, bro, and you play the female card. And yeah, the dumbass feminist idiots, they'll probably take your side. Okay, go stay over there. Like think I've done a pretty good job trying to get the feminists to get the fuck up out of here. Like if you're on that little weird, little creepy, bisexual, lesbian, feminist, pro-black shit, you can go get your ass over there. Okay. The normal people over here, the men who like women, the women who like men, who identify like normal people over here, whether they're mulatto, whether they're black or they're white or Latino, whatever the hell they are, the normal people who are, the straight people over here. But you have the feminist idiots who will try to like push this crap that because I challenge somebody who's trying to slander me, that somehow I'm like attacking a woman or something. Like I'm saying, like this one individual is, just needs to know her place, basically. Like you can try, like, that's the thing. Like you can go talk crap about that one guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but he plays video games and does like fitness content and stuff like that. Like, you can go talk crap about him and he'll talk crap about you, whatever. But it's like, bitch, don't run your mouth about me because I do videos on you, and then you run and cry. And then you play the victim card, and it's like all you got is the old Latino guy to run and cry to, or a couple of black manosphere fucking fucktard grifters. You got some loser black manosphere guys and some old Latino guy to cry to. Who else is going to listen to you? Some feminist fucktards? I don't want those pieces of shit over here. This is not a spot for them. This is a spot for men and women who are mulatto, and this is a public channel, man. I got people who found my page who are like, who've been friends. I got one of my old roommates and shit who's Chicano. He's not mulatto, but I actually shared this channel with a couple students. That was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done, to be honest with you. Like, if it's bad for business, like you guys hear me, like, unfiltered and stuff, all the vulgarity. I'm trying to teach people English and I shared them. That's the stupidest business mistake I've made, but it is what it is. It's part of life lesson. But what I'm saying is the demographic, the people who tune in and listen, there's a lot of different people who listen to my stuff. Okay. And I can try to say, well, I just want this specific audience, but it's a public platform. Everyone can tune in. People can stumble upon it. Like I said, I've had old roommates and friends who found me, and I've shared it with students and crap. So everyone's like tuning in and stuff, but I don't know where I was getting at with that, but it's just not like the people who don't like the mulattoes over here who identify as us, it's going to be other mulattoes. You got the golden pookie, who's another loser, degenerate. And it's just, you got people like that. Yeah. Mulatto men and women who are like, they're black identified and they don't like what we're doing or what we stand for over here. And they want to prove to black people that they're basically the good mixed people. It's like, I'm just doing my own shit. I don't need, but they still listen to me. I don't watch any of their stuff, but they still listen to me. And I might tune in, I might find them on someone else's panel that I'm subscribed to. And I'm like, these people are still watching everything I do. I thought you people were gone already, or you rebranded, or whatever the hell you did. Biracials that only identify as black definitely lack self-esteem and any dignity. Their results are horrible. I mean, if they're rich or wealthy, I can't say shit. I'm not rich or wealthy. I'm well off. I can jump on a plane and travel wherever the hell I want. I got enough money, debt free. I have no like real obligations, just work. I got money in the bank. I can just jump on a plane and fly anywhere I want to go to. So, but when I look at these mulattoes who are biracial, you say, or that are black identified, yeah, they lack self-esteem, dignity. Like they can't do any of that crap. They're stuck. They're stuck in their little shithole community with their black baby daddy. They can't go anywhere. They're fucked up, man. So they see a guy like me who can jump on a plane. He'd be like, "Fuck you fools. I'm gonna go talk to these people over here." And then they have an issue. I like, dude, if you're a jealous hoe, that's on you. I can't help you out. Just be better. I don't know. Be better. Don't you hate it on some movies and shows that they use full black people to play mixed race peoples? Yeah, they do that a lot. They did that with the Chevalier movie, right? And they did that with Barack Obama movie. I think it was called South Side by Me. And they also did that with the Thurgood Marshall movie. I think it was called Justice or something. They've done that like a zillion times, even in the last like decade, last 10 years. When they put like they have a movie that's supposed to play a mulatto person, mulatto figure, they have a fucking dark skinned black playing the movie. It's such a joke. And the reason why, because as well, when it's reversed, when you have a movie that's supposed to highlight a dark skinned black person, you have like a lighter skinned person playing the movie, the dark skins cry and whine about representation. You guys saw that with Nina Simone. Nina Simone, you had black women all whining and crying because Zoe Saldana played the role of Nina Simone. They're crying, man. That's the thing, is they always cry. They always cry. But when they basically cosplay as you and they erase your identity, they want you to sit there and just smile and accept it. A lot of you people do. That's what irritates me the most. It's not, I know what black people are gonna do. We've already, even this video, we examine their strategy, how they act stupid about, I don't know what biracial is. Well, in the world, you're going to be seen as black. It's Blackistan gaslighting tactic. We've already examined them. We know their strategy. Okay, we know how they operate when they're operating from a powerless position. It's the fact that biracials and mulattoes who go along with it. That to me is the most frustrating thing. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys like being played for suckers and being stupid. I don't know. I think it's because they don't want to be called quote unquote anti-black, or they don't want to be called like mean or something. I'm like, they're going to call you anti-black regardless. Okay. If you go to the Denny's restaurant and you order a Grand Slam with the orange juice drink on the side, and you don't tip your waiter $50 for mediocre service, they're going to call you anti-black. The whole anti-black shit is just a weapon. They're going to call you that regardless. Okay. If you go to Walmart and you buy a 24 pack of water bottles instead of a 32 pack of water bottles, blacks are going to say you're anti-black. If you haven't figured that shit out by now, I don't know what to tell you. Everything is anti-black to them if you're not serving them underneath them. So, I think a lot of them, they don't want to be called anti-black. So they end up being suckers and punks and subordinates, which is fine just as long as you stay over there. Just so you know, if you creep up over here, we're going to laugh at you. I will laugh at you. I have multiple channels, multiple social media platforms. I will find you and I will laugh at you. I have one child and stuff for me. Shout out to you, LSP. Appreciate you being here, LSP. Please chat. Please click the like and share the video. Thank you. I appreciate that, Celtic Mulatto, with the promotion. Appreciate that. You put Simple Mind. The worst are commercials of full two black people. Yeah, the kids mixed. Not only that, what they're doing now is if you even there's a guy on TikTok and he does some videos. He pointed this out as well, where it's like you can go on Google and type in a black couple. Just type in black couple, you'll find a super dark skinned black, blue, black, purple male, and then the female will be light skinned. Like in that show, what was it? Martin. Remember the Martin? That was the whole premise. Martin Lawrence is dark skinned black, and then he had like his partner was like light skinned, yellow. That they call him. You yellow bone, you yellow. That's what they call it. But that's very common now. You type in on social media, you type in like a black couple, it'll be a black guy, dark skinned black guy, and the woman's a mulatta. You're like, this is the shit they promote. So even, like you were saying here with the commercials, right? Where two black people and then the kids mix, yeah. But often, because I have a Discord. Okay, I have a Discord channel, but my Discord, I'm not really in tune with it as much with the other platforms. The thing is with Discord, what I'm doing is I'm doing like a collection of data. Primarily is I'm storing all this data from advertisements there. And oftentimes with the advertisement, what you find is you'll see like a mulatto man with a black woman or a white woman. Or you'll see a mulatto woman, which is very common, a mulatto woman with a black man or a white man. Or you'll see like a black man and a white woman with a mulatto kid. You'll see mulattoes in advertisement all over the place for every company imaginable, every service or industry imaginable. You'll see mulattoes represented, but you will rarely, if ever, less than 1%, you'll never really find us mulattoes represented as a family, meaning mulatto man, mulatto woman, mulatto child. They don't show us, and I'm saying they because we don't control the advertisement. We're not putting the money up to produce our own advertisement. We will get there with my efforts and what we're doing. We will get there. But because other people are advertising us using our image, they're not putting us in a sense to where it's like a community of family. They're showing us as like kids of two monoracial parents, or they're showing a mulatto woman, a white man, a black man, mulatto woman, vice versa. You guys see that? Like when I see the advertisements, yeah, it's never us together as a group, a community. And we are the ones that have to change that. Nobody else is going to do it for you. They want to maintain the status quo to keep us as a subordinate class, a utilitarian class that could be used to do other people's biddings. The white nationalists blame the Jews for us, for our existence. The Jews want to use you. None of these Jews are paying me. I'm not getting no money from them, right? But the wingnats, they will say that, the white nationalists. And the blacks will say that the whites are using us against them, but vice versa. We have to have our own shit. And I'm one of the only people you're going to find out here on YouTube speaking it. I can go on TikTok, but I'm already shadow banned. They'll delete my shit, community guidelines, blah, blah, blah. You guys know it. So I'm over here on YouTube and it's working out good for me. But you guys, I'm just one voice. You guys got to speak up too. I appreciate your guys' support. I really do. You guys are everything. I'm only here blabbing my mouth because I see you guys up in here. If none of you people were even here, I would have turned it off and took my ass to bed. But you guys are here. This is why I do this, to give you guys a voice. But I'd like to see a lot of you guys speak up as well. Just get into a couple more of these and then finish it off. Yeah, I like J. Cole too. I think, like I said, I think he's good. He's a good lyricist and stuff like that. But the thing with J. Cole is I didn't like the whole situation like that went down with Kendrick and Drake and how he kind of backed out. That's not right. Especially when you see how the whole industry was basically, even the hip hop media heads like Joe Budden, who's a buster, they're all like going against Drake and stuff. Were like, it was rigged, man. America and the world has no problem with mixed race identity. Half white, half Asians have no issues in any other black mix. Black people defending one drop rule, accept their inferiority. Yeah, they accept the fact that they're a subordinate. Because remember, that's like the whole Kendrick Lamar crowd. It's part of their identity now. with the Black American kind of slave thing, with the one drop, where they embrace the one drop rule. That's their whole identity, is being a victim, a slave, being FBA, right? That's like the whole identity now. So it's going to be a very tricky situation when you're dealing with that. A lot of Black men feel they own mixed women. Exactly. They don't like to see two mulattoes together, or white and a mulatto. Yeah, they don't like to see white and mulatto either. In Brazil, that's what you'll see mainly. When I see the mulattas, I see a lot of mulattas. They're with white men in Brazil. But yeah, if it's that, they don't like that. And then also, if it's two mulattoes together, they don't like that. Exactly. Yeah, Tommy's no longer on YouTube. Yeah, I don't even follow him, so I don't know what the hell he's doing. Happy New Year. Appreciate you. 2025. Always light-skinned Black men and mixed light-skinned men need to stick together instead of hanging out with a lot of darker-skinned Black men. We need to stick together and more and have our own apartment. Yeah, have your own communities. Develop your own social media networks. You got a guy, Light Skin History. Shout out to him. I really like Light Skin History. What he's doing. Also, there's a gentleman named Patrick C. He's like a lighter skinned Black man. And I support these guys. I share their content. I shout them out. I really like what they're doing. I support it because, yeah, you got lighter skinned Black men who see it for what it is. They see the game. They see it for what it is, man. And not that many people are speaking up. But I support those guys. I like what they're doing because more people are going to speak up. The more videos they put out there, the more content they throw out there, more people are going to catch on. They're like, you know what? You've been right. You're right all along. I knew it, because they know they're not the only one. Even I know for me, there's other mulattoes who are even older than me, like Gen Xers. Where like I had a gentleman, I was happy that he messaged me and told me. A business owner, it's like a bodybuilder type of dude, mulatto cat. And he told me, he's like, oh man, thank you, man. He's like, I owe you. Because he thought for like 40 plus years he was alone. He thought he was the only one who thought this way. He found my channel. He's like, it was like a breath of fresh air. Those are the best messages I get. I get it from women too. But when I have even, especially people who are older than me, who are like thankful, I know that I'm doing something good. My service is like wanted. It's a noble cause. People find value in my message, because I kind of joke and say, you know, my little small YouTube channel, I'm just a guy up here talking shit. It's like late at night. I'm just up here talking shit, which I kind of think of it like that as well. I do put thought into this though, for sure. Like I said, I started the stream with Afropean Monika, you know, shout out to her, all respect to her. I mean, I definitely admire her. And but yeah, she wanted me to kind of talk about it, so I kind of initiated the stream. So this is all community service. Like everything I position this as is giving back to you guys. You guys support me, you guys, you know, and I support you as well. So this is the whole foundation of a community, is we represent each other, we have each other's backs, we speak out for each other. This is what it is. And I like to see the lighter skinned Black males do that as well. Like I said, light skin history and Patrick, when they're doing that, and I really I appreciate the content that they're doing. I wish, yeah, they got to continue to do that, keep putting that stuff out there, and more people are going to see it, and there's more channels are going to pop up out here, because we see the fuck shit. I'll just say it like that. We see the fuck shit. We see the game that people are playing, where they like the light skinned women, but they don't like the light skinned men. And don't expect the light skinned women to say a damn thing about that, because they're being pedestalized, they're being worshipped, and, you know, preferential treatment. So they have it easy kind of right now, which is okay. It's fine. They're women. Men should take care of the women. But what kind of men are taking care of them? Like, the thing is, like, when they're baby mamas and shit, and they're out here like struggling, begging for cash apps, and they're running to mixed men to like defend them. You have some of these biracial fucking hood boogers who are talking all this shit on not only me, but other biracial men, calling us light skinned and weak. And they're out here begging for cash apps. And like, I remember the whole situation that happened with Cassie and P. Diddy. And you had some biracial idiot who's best buddies with that drunk criminal who's on the Latino guys panel, old Latino guy. And this knucklehead was sitting here like trying to like talk crap about the men, not defending Cassie and shit. And like, this is somebody, it's like someone like that who's anti-biracial man, who's a baby mama by a Black man, who does nothing but talk shit about biracial men. But when a mixed woman gets her ass beat by a dark skinned black guy, I'm looking at it like with PD, I'm looking at it's not my problem. I don't know. And she got mad at that. She thinks I'm supposed to jump out here and defend her and advocate. Like, what? What? Are you fucking serious right now? You spend all this time talking shit about light skinned men and biracial men. Really? But when a dark skinned guy does you in, does you dirty, you want to turn back to me and other mixed and light skinned men to defend you? Fuck out of here. It is such an insult. I'm using some vulgarity now because I'm just so you guys can kind of get understanding of the sentiment. But I'm like, it is so bizarre the situation we see right now where some people are so basically, I don't even know how to say it. It's beyond words. Some of the people you run into. Liam from Shameless is supposed to be mulatto, and they've got some Bantu kid playing him. Yeah, yeah. But see, the Bantus are okay with that when the Bantus play roles that are supposed to be for mulattoes. But when you reverse it, Bunny Strange, when you have a mulatto that's supposed to play a role of a dark-skinned Bantu, you notice the dark-skinned Bantus cry all over social media. You guys notice that? You notice that? The dark-skinned Bantu start crying about black erasure and oh, they're taking roles from black people and it's European standards of beauty and light skin privilege. You notice how the Bantu all of a sudden is not cool with you playing them, but when they play you, it's just no problem. You notice that? Funny, right? Steve Brown is the biggest light skinned simp I've seen in my life. He panders to dark skinned women like crazy. I remember this maid saying 10 things he loved about dark skinned people. He's so pathetic. Yeah, I don't know who he is, Steve Brown. But there's a lot of light skinned bitches who serve darker skinned people. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of them, man. It's I would say they're kind of in the majority. That's why when I see like a light skin history or a Patrick, I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. These are people I can vibe with. These are people I can fuck with because I'm like, okay, now we got a light skinned guy who's standing on business, who's working out, who's articulate, who's going to talk his shit, stand on business. I respect that 100%. I'll endorse them, sponsor them, I'll share them, promote them. Yeah, because I would say the majority of these, you got like J. Cole types. See, J. Cole's talented, but you give it all away to the communita who will turn on their ass in a second. That's a sad part, man. But yeah, when I see people who advocate for themselves, especially these light skinned dudes, mulatto men who advocate for themselves, it's like, man, I'm going to be here to promote you. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you. All of this blab in my mouth is signaling to you guys, get out of the shadows. Stop serving the community. I've already demonstrated you see what they're doing. They want the women and they want to exclude the men and position the men to be subordinates. It's your choice, guys. What do you want to do? That's it, guys. I'm going to call it a night and I'll talk to you guys soon. So like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. Peace out.